Pause for just 3 seconds and just close your eyes and think about where you were 3 years ago. What were you doing 3 years ago? What were the things that broke your heart? The things that discouraged you 3 years ago? Do you remember the time you just sat down and you thought a particular situation was a dead end? It was the end of you or of your career, or you thought it was just over. But God somehow brought you through. You're able to navigate everything, and you are here today. You are watching this video today. Let's talk about how far God has brought you, how well He has done you. Welcome back to my channel. Hope you're doing well. Let's go back memory lane, or how do they say, let's go down memory lane. Just go to your phone, or just open your phone, go to your photos or your Google Photos or wherever you save your things, and just go back to 3 years ago, or 4 years ago. Just scroll back. Where were you 3 years ago? What were you 4 years ago? What were you doing? What were the things that bothered you, the things that made you feel like, can you do this? If you have anything, if you can just locate anything that discouraged you and you overcame it, God just saw you through one way or another, you need to lay to heart to give God all the glory. You need to be thankful, because there's this saying I used to hear when I was in university, Covenant University, that thank God we don't look like what we've been through, right? There's a way they put it. They used to put it then to us as students. Trust me, if you can think, you can thank. Okay, this video is just to encourage you, to encourage anyone that might be, going through any form of dry season, that might be going through any form of wilderness season, that this too shall pass. Whatever it is you are going through, it will pass. God will carry you through it. If you give God, if you give everything to God and just put everything in God's hands, God will bring you through it, okay? So look back, go to your phone, just check pictures, see the way you were 4 years ago, see the way you are glowing now, see the way you are happy now. Give God all the glory for everything He has done, for all He has done for you, for how well He has done you, for how far He has brought you. Even if you might have, certain unanswered prayers, things are still not as perfect as you want. I know that every single person on this earth, at one point or another in their lives, they have things they yearn for. They have things they wish they had, or they have things they wish they can achieve. So when you go through that path, when you overcome those certain periods or seasons in your life, you should always remember to go down memory lane so that you can think, It is very important, because if you don't lay to heart to thank God, if you don't give Him glory for all of the things He has done for you, you find it difficult to even have faith in Him for the things you are still expecting, for the things that you are waiting on Him for. And so it's very important. Let's just go down memory lane, check your phone, go to your email, just check the way you were 4 years ago, and just give God glory for who you are now, for how far He has brought you, for how well He has done you. Another thing I want you to understand in this video is that you should remember that God's track record is 100% bam. Okay, solid, ironclad. His track record, God has been faithful. God is always faithful. He will always be faithful. So if there's anything that you feel downcast about and you are praying, trust that God is going to sort you out. Trust that God is going to do the absolute best for you. He will make the right decision for you, okay? You don't see your future. You don't see tomorrow. You don't see anything. You don't know the downsides of some decisions you are praying to God for, that this is what you want. You don't know the downside. God knows the downside. He knows the upside. He knows all the sides. Why not give Him everything? Give all authority, as in He already has the authority anyway. But just hand everything over to God. Hand everything to God, and just know that His track record is not 99%. It's not 99.999. It is 100. In fact, it's 5,000,000%. Okay. God's track record, God is faithful. Just remember how God came through for you, how God has been keeping you alive. You've been waking up, you've been sleeping, you've been waking up, you've been sleeping. You eat successfully, nothing goes wrong, everything goes the right way. I know there was a video I did one time that I talked about some blessings that we overlook. The blessings of being able to even swallow successfully without you ending up in the hospital. It's a blessing. because I know in that video I gave an example of when I was eating something peppery, and then the thing just, kind of went the wrong way, or went down the wrong pipe for just, it wasn't, I don't think it was up to 30 seconds anyways. I couldn't breathe. Like, when food, I know you might have experienced this before, I don't know, when you are eating something spicy, and then somehow it just goes the wrong way, and your eyes turn red, your eyes are watery, everything just, you know you don't even understand what's going on, and you'll be trying to catch your breath in those few seconds. And then in those few seconds, I just realized that, my goodness, I've been taking for granted being able to eat alone. I've been taking it for granted. That that thing that little thing that happened could have been another story. It could have been something else entirely, because if that thing had prolonged for another maybe 1 minute, it's not what we're saying we'll be saying. And so, little things that God does for us that we don't even ask for, that but He knows we need them. He knows that this is most important, and we should always know that even the ones that we now want, why will He not do them for us if He sees that, okay, this thing is good for this girl, or for this boy, or for this woman, for this man. So we should always know that God is faithful. Okay, we should always put it in mind. Remember that God has 100% perfect track record. He's going to do what only He can do. He's going to do what, as in, even you will be shocked. Eyes have not seen, ears have not heard. Okay, just relax and just know that God is faithful. God, He won't fail you. If you are His child, He will not fail you. But just know that whatever decision God makes for you, just give Him all the glory, because He knows what's best for you and He will never fail. Gratitude shifts your perspective. Okay, so if you learn to say thank you often, it will just shift your anxiety levels. It will just, if you learn to say thank you to God for all of the things He has done for you in the past, all of the things He's currently doing, and the things He's yet to do, your anxiety level will reduce, because you're like, God, I'm in your hands. I know nothing, I can do nothing by myself, I have no power of my own. I give you all the glory. Just say thank you to God, okay? If you are praying for a certain thing, it might be for anything, thank Him for all He has already done, and just give, and with gratitude, take your request to God. That's what the Bible tells us. Take your request to God, so that you just get rid of all of the anxiety. I know we are, as human beings, we are prone to get anxious. We are prone to, because you want to know, okay, how is this thing going to end, or is this thing going to happen for me, or am I going to get this answer? And then you get so anxious. But if you can just give God all the glory and give Him praise, your anxiety levels will reduce. So when you shift from worrying to giving thanks, being thankful, your anxiety level will reduce. It's very important to say thank you. Thank you is, it's just like a pill you take to just get rid of your anxiety. It is very important. Another important thing we need to do is to always call to mind our answered prayers. Okay, just try to remember. Don't just treat God like a vending machine, or like an ATM machine, where when you need money, you remember that you're going to the ATM, and then you just get the money. Once you collect your money and you remove your card, you are out of there. You don't even remember there's something called an ATM machine again. So we shouldn't treat God like that. We shouldn't go close to God only when we want something from Him. Remember all of your answered prayers, and always call them to mind, and always give God praise. Because when you remember your answered prayers, it gives you this confidence that, wait, this God did it before, He will do it again. Why am I worrying myself? And so it's important. All over, there's sometimes I just sit down and I just remember some very impossible things that happened. I'm like, wait, what would I have done if I didn't have God? Like, hey, what will I live for if this God was not faithful? What will I be alive for crying out loud? And so I just give God praise. Sometimes I just say, God, you are faithful. Because there are some answered prayers that at the time when you were praying, or at the time when you were in that situation, it felt like the end of the world. I don't know if anybody else feels that way, but for me, I've had several moments. In fact, I can go back to when I was a teenager, when I was a child, thinking about how God has been faithful, how you call on God and then He just answers. He answers the prayers. It may not be on the spot, like Nigerian films, in Nigerian films, home videos in Nigeria, you be seeing thunder flying everywhere, or you be seeing the fireworks everywhere. Maybe that God is answering prayer. No, it may not be that way. You just look, just say that you look back after 1 month, you just say, that problem is no more there. Or it might not be immediately. There are some prayers that obviously they have to be answered on the spot, right? But we shouldn't now treat other answered prayers like, oh, this one didn't happen on the spot, so I've not forgotten. Always remember your answered prayers. Always give God praise for all of the things He has done in the past. And just thank Him for the ones He's currently doing and the ones He's yet to do. God is faithful. God is faithful. Even if you don't get, the exact thing you're looking for or you're waiting for, right? Trust that God is faithful. Just trust that God is going to do what only He can do. And you look back after a couple of weeks or days or months or years and you say, this God is good. God did this thing one way or another. It's very important for us to remember answered prayers, because God is not an ATM machine that we just go to when we need Him and we forget Him when He has answered us. We always need to just constantly remember that He's a faithful God, He's a good God, and He will never fail. I hope this video has been encouraging and inspiring. I hope you've gotten something from this video, and I hope you call to mind today all the good things God has done for you, all of your answered prayers, and you lay to heart to give Him all the glory and all the praise. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.